Hello, everyone. My name is Kamil, and I'm head of engineering operations at EnergyWeb. And I would like you to join me with a little bit of a journey to explore the EnergyWeb SaaS platform called Lunchpad. And basically, I would like to show you what it is, how does it look like, what are the benefits and the motives why we actually went for it and introduced that. So on the agenda points, I'll basically first start with positioning of the Launchpad in the EnergyWeb X ecosystem. Then I will move towards introducing the Launchpad itself, what it is, and what are the challenges that we think the Launchpad will help us solve, and what were all of those different kinds of challenges that we faced over the years, and basically how the Launchpad fits into all of those different chunks. Then there will be a little bit of a demo. I will show you around the platform, so you will be able to see, and hopefully we'll be able to start afterwards exploring yourself. And then obviously we'll end up with a roadmap, so you will see what is coming next for the Launchpad. So first things first, how does it look from the standpoint of the EnergyWeb X ecosystem? I think you might have seen in the past different components of EnergyWeb X ecosystem, namely probably worker nodes and EnergyWeb X. Maybe you interacted with them and so on. But the entire ecosystem consists also of a couple of other parts, which is namely obviously EnergyWeb chain, but also the platform, the Launchpad itself. And the reason I'm introducing it right now, because I want you to understand that those things are really working together as a whole. So they are benefiting from each other, and they are basically interconnected in a sense that they can leverage of the different features. And they are kind of targeting different groups of customers. So Launchpad is more focused on the creators and maybe large enterprises, but obviously not exclusively, while the worker nodes, it's more towards the community side. And now I think let's introduce the Launchpad, what it actually is. So the Launchpad is a platform offering various EnergyWeb ecosystem products in a full enterprise-grade SaaS manner. And I think that sentence purely describes the essence of the Launchpad and what it is. And what you can see in the Launchpad are three main categories of services or products. First one are blockchain services or blockchain products. This is the category that you might most recognize. So they're all around the blockchain stuff that any kind of blockchain needs. So for example, RPC APIs tailored to the different plans and to the different rate limits and so on. Full nodes that are basically in different modes. Validators, which are the nodes that are contributing to the blocks production on the EnergyWeb chain ecosystem, and collators that does similar thing, but for the EnergyWeb X in the Polkadot ecosystem. So those last remaining two are mostly probably for the members of the EnergyWeb ecosystem. General services, this group will consist all sorts of wizards that are configuring and deploying the stacks of products that are in the EnergyWeb umbrella. So you can think about the Greenproofs as a service wizard, or Digital Spine that is targeting more of a transport layer. And finally, we have the EnergyWeb X ecosystem products. Here we have the SmartFlow, which is, I consider it a little bit of a flagship from the standpoint, and it will have a separate deep dive later on. So there will be one more presentation afterwards for that. And also enterprise worker nodes. So basically the server version of the workers that you probably, or some of you are running currently on your local. And now moving to the challenges that the Launchpad is tackling to some extent. There are three main categories, and you will realize that Launchpad for some of them is contributing a lot, for some of them a little bit. But all in all, for all of those, it has its role and plays a really great part. So first set of challenges that we as EnergyWeb have encountered over the years working with our customers comes from the nature of those customers. So as you know, on the one hand side, obviously we have the community, but on the other hand side, we have a project that we run for very big players. And those big enterprises very often demand certain features from the software that is being delivered to them. Namely, they are expecting production grade, let's say, a way of looking of that software. They're expecting the quality and speed. So that's one big chunk. Another chunk or another set of challenges is the way how we deliver the projects, how fast we are, how efficient we are. Because obviously that's if you have a lot of projects in your pipeline, you really want to not allow the client to wait. And the third one, which is also equally important challenge, and I would say that it was one of the last one to be solved because it's very, very tricky one, is to understand that from the nature of our business, we have two sides. One is the community side, another is the enterprise or project side. And those are, let's say, vastly different people working or being in those two groups. And somehow we need to mutually benefit from both of those sides with our software. So that's the third group. And now moving to the maybe deep dive into those certain challenges and how we tried to approach them, and the problems that and how we what were the problems that we identified and how we tried to approach them over the years. So for the first set of challenges related to the enterprise clients, there were a lot of different things that we identified. So for example, one of them is perception of being enterprise ready. And this not really comes hand in hand with open source. When you think about the open source, not always it has this perception. Also for open source, inherently there is a risk because the code is open source. So there's a security risk that was sometimes perceived like that from the big player's perspective. Also, a lot of those companies have a small or no IT departments, or even were lacking some partnerships of this kind of companies that they can support them. Plus, as you probably know, when the technology is on the verge, let's say between Web 2 and Web 3, the entry-level complexity can be really high. So that was another one. And we tried various of approaches to address those problems. For example, we really we're always trying to prepare extensive documentation for our software. When we are focusing on the open source, we not only ship the code itself, but also agnostic automation means so the client can take it and regardless of the platform, easily deploy it. We also experimented with, I call it half SaaS experience on the public clouds. Some of you may know AWS Marketplace or Azure Marketplace. We already have some offerings there, although it's, as I said, it's half SaaS. And you will see, I will address it, how Lunchpad addresses, actually in this group, the Lunchpad addresses most of those things. Next, the next challenges category, as I mentioned, is from the projects frontier front. And the challenges that we had here, we also tried to figure out how to address them. And those are just a couple of things that we introduced and that we thought that would be a nice ways to address them. So first one, approaching the clients with a problem first, not necessarily technology first approach. As you know, I mean, it's no longer the times when everyone just wants a blockchain and that's it, right? So now you really need to provide the value for the problem that client has to strike the deal. Then the next thing that happened over the years was narrowing of the scope on the Energy Web portfolio on the products to just a couple of them that we saw that the greatest fits our ecosystem. Nextly, even in the context of those smaller amount of products, we started to focus and identify that very often between the client to client within the scope of a single offering, there are very similar needs. So instead of focusing and building everything tailored to that given customer, we focus more on the generic tech. So with the nice creators, with a nice UI-based configuration, we can be much more efficient. And that was one of the also big shift. And the final one establishing this Energy Web X core ecosystem that contrary to some of the projects, it's not temporary, it's rather persistent, and it's constantly evolving, but it's built in such a way that can benefit multiple projects, or basically most of the projects that we are building right now. Yeah, and moving to the third set of challenges that are coming from this, let's say, unique standpoint of our business, where on the one hand side, we have the enterprise customers on the left, while on the other hand side, we have the vibrant community. So this was more of a mind shift, I would say, that drove it first, that we decided that we should no longer exclusively treat them separately, but rather organize in between the core ecosystem that mutually benefits both. And here, as you see on the left, we have Lunchpad, because this is indeed the gateway for the creators, the gateway for the enterprises to start building their solutions. In the middle, we have the Energy Web X as a connecting layer, as a transparency layer. And on the right-hand side, we have worker nodes and obviously marketplace app that is more tailored to the needs of stakers and the people that are actually running the solutions built on top of the Lunchpad. So this ecosystem mutually benefit both of the sides with the way that it was formed. Yeah, and moving to the other things that basically encapsulates all of those addressing all of those challenges that I mentioned. So with Lunchpad, we are kind of contributing to every set of that. So I mentioned that for the different sets of customers, we have the mutual benefit because we have the ecosystem. And for the first two, so dealing with the big companies as well as being more efficient on the project front, Lunchpad has a lot to offer. So, for example, it introduces really the enterprise grade level feeling and offering, simultaneously reducing the overhead really significantly. It has the full SaaS experience with a fiat payments, and you might also heard in other presentations that crypto payments are quite often challenging for those big guys. So fiat is mostly what they want. We are under the Lunchpad umbrella. We are offering those UI generic configuration wizards for lots of our products, so you can really configure and test out this generic approach that we are having. There is this interconnection between the community and the enterprises. It's increasing the adoption and speed to delivery. And thirdly, it's really decreasing the level of complexity. Especially, you don't need to really be ops person, IT person to really start and understand and deploy whatever things are there. Yeah, and at that stage, I would like to basically show you around the Lunchpad and give you a little bit tour of how does it look like, what's the platform like, and hopefully encourage you to try it out. So basically, this is the landing page. It's already live for everyone. It's called the URL is lunchpad.energyweb.org. We have the social logins already enabled. You can sign up very easily. It's free of charge, obviously. And then once you enter, this is the landing page. Here on the top right, you have a switcher that allows you to switch between the VAS side, which is more targeted to the blockchain related services or full nodes, for example, the collators as a service, etc., and the SaaS side that is more targeted towards subscription plans based, offering more of a generic services and products. And what we have already here is, first of all, is SmartFlow that basically offers the possibility to govern and manage worker nodes, network solutions, and smart flows, and in the future also worker node networks. So this is the product that will allow you to manage the lifecycle, deploy them. But I will not deep dive right now because this will be reserved for the next presentation. You have the blockchain API, where you can quickly spin up a new endpoint from any of our current running blockchains. Either it is EWC, Volta testnet, EnergyWebX, or testnet from EnergyWebX, tailored to your needs. That can be, you can spin in a minute and have a reliable endpoint that can be protected by authentication for your maybe programmatical needs if you want to do something against any of our chains. We have this coming soon page that can serve for you as some sort of a roadmap hinter, because you can go there, you can see what's coming, what are the approximate deadlines, and this is basically something that we are trying to update pretty frequently. And here on the VAS side, as you see, the team changes, and we have a different set of products being offered here. For now, we have the validator nodes that are being offered in two different ways, either with the bring your own cloud manner, so you can bring your own credentials to your cloud and subscribe to them and deploy the bundle of Volta and EWC validator, or managed cloud one. Plus, there are the ones that are coming soon, collator nodes, EWC RPCs. All of those will be, and obviously worker nodes as in server version. All of those will be available in those kind of manner to be deployed in the various of options. Yeah, and now we can get back to the presentation. So I showed you around the Lunchpad. I showed you what is there on the high level, why we build this, what are the benefits. But now let's move to what's coming on next and what you can expect in the near future. So last year at Q4, it was our first release. We released the first Launchpad version exclusively for members with the smart flow, with a limited capacity for them to start exploring. Recently, I think it was end of last week, we released to public with the validator as a service, enhanced smart flow experience that I will be tackling in the next presentation, and blockchain API. And as you see, moving on this year, the number of products that we are going to offer and functionality is going to expand pretty significantly. And indeed, I would say that teams are working really, really hard right now to get all of those things done. So what you can expect are custom noded nodes. That will be something that can be used in the smart flow, that will be simplifying basic operations against EnergyWebX and EnergyWeb chain that usually are needed when you are building your logic. New version of the smart flow that will offer the full experience. So not only worker node solutions and the flows and the logic, but also worker node networks. So this is really huge change, and that will be coming soon. A green proofs as a service. So first version of the creator of the green proof stack. At start, it will be relatively simple, but it will be expanding to really allow us to build and configure fully fledged green proof services. Worker nodes in the server version, so really tailored to the very heavy loads, server version of the worker nodes that you can spin up for your execution. Collator as a service, EnergyWeb chain full nodes that are, I would say, from this list, they are coming very fast. So this will be something that probably will be next one in our pipeline in a couple of weeks. And then further this year, it's one remark, this might change, so this might increase, but yeah, further this year we can expect the full release of the custom noded nodes. I think we are aiming around 8, but yeah, obviously this might be even more. The Grant console and auditor console, that will be also in fully fledged. The Grant console will have very nice functionalities related to the blockchain-based milestones, digital spine as a service, and also green proofs as a service full version wizard. Yeah, and actually that's more or less it from my side that I wanted to show you. This presentation just aimed to provide you a just overlook and high level one. The smartphone one will be more focused on the technical things. And yeah, thank you for joining this one. And yeah, please enjoy the Launchpad, try it out, and I hope you like it. Thank you.